Hello, welcome to our channel. Today we will share the story of a married woman who had an affair with her brother-in-law. Join us as our main character tells her regret of cheating on her husband. Hello. I know that what I did was wrong and shameful. I have a lot of regrets and I'm not proud of myself. Let me tell you about myself first. My name is Kritika. I am a 29-year-old married woman with 2 children. I have been married for 10 years. My husband had a brother who lives in a different city. My father-in-law passed away recently. My husband used to work with my father-in-law. He was doing farming and animal husbandry. When my father-in-law passed away, my husband sold the animals and shared the income with his brother. At the same time, my husband's brother inherited a shop, a house, and a plot of land. As my husband would be involved in farming, he took all the farming land inherited from his father. His brother moved to our town to manage the shop that he had inherited. At the same time, his brother decided to move to the apartment on the top floor that he inherited from his father. Since our house was in the courtyard, my mother-in-law, my husband's brother and my husband started living together. Since my marriage, I had only seen my husband's brother a few times. He didn't visit us much. He lived in different cities for years, and after my father-in-law's death, we started living together. My brother-in-law is 4 years older than my husband. He is 40 years old, but he did not marry for many years. Finally, he got married 2 years ago, after much pressure from my father-in-law who was urging him to get married and to have kids. My father-in-law passed away 2 years later after his son's marriage. My brother-in-law's wife is the same age as me. She likes dressing up, walking around the city all day long. With all her efforts to look attractive, she doesn't look as beautiful as me. She is aware of this and this drives her crazy. She is jealous and dresses up every day. She was doing her best to make me jealous and drive me crazy. I was also disturbed by voices coming from her bedroom at nights. My brother-in-law would come home late and then voices would come from their room for an hour. She was screaming and moaning out loud on purpose to ensure that I heard her. Once my mother-in-law told her that she was too loud and suggested that she made less noise. Be a little careful. If I hear you, it means neighbors can also hear you. It's embarrassing, she said. Oh, mother, what should I do? It's your son's fault. He won't get tired, she said, in an attempt to make me more jealous. Then she started describing in details how her husband was making love with her. I knew well that she did this to play on my nerves. But to be honest, I was impressed by what she was telling us because my sex life with my husband was almost non-existent. My husband gets tired because of the hard work in the field. He's also not very keen on sex. But to be fair, he's a perfect man. He never raised his hand to me, never showed a sign of rudeness. He fulfills all my wishes. Unfortunately, his sex drive is low. He's not much into intimacy. Every time I initiate a physical closeness, he refuses to engage. 1 out of 5 times, he rejects my request to have sex. I never thought it was such a big deal until I met my brother-in-law's wife. She would tell me about how great her sex life was at every opportunity. And hearing those voices coming out of her bedroom all the time made me yearn for sex even more. I was always willing, but my husband did not meet my needs. One morning, she woke up screaming and crying. Her mother had passed away. She was going to visit her hometown to attend her mother's funeral. I was upset about her mother's death, but I was happy that she would be leaving, at least for a while. She said she would stay with her father for a while and return in 2 months. After her departure, I would help my brother-in-law with the cleaning of his room. One morning, when I went to his room, I found out that he hadn't left. He usually left at this time of the day. I heard sounds coming from his bedroom. The bedroom door was ajar. When I looked through the door, I saw him playing with himself on the bed. I kept quiet. I caught myself staring at him. Finally, I left the room secretly. While leaving quietly, I knocked over the coffee table. Then I left without making any sound. I couldn't get him out of my mind and dreamt about him that night. A few days later, I visited his room again to do cleaning. I coughed before entering it. "Kritika, is that you?" he asked. "Yes, brother, I came to clean the house." "I thought you had left," I responded. "I have been waking up early since my wife has been away." He got out of the bed and went to the bathroom in his underwear. "Can you change the sheets, too?" he asked. I started to change the sheets, but his smell was all over the bed. I felt aroused. At that moment, he hugged me from behind. I asked him, "What are you doing?" "Don't do that." He didn't speak at all. "I know you were watching me through the door the other day," he told me. I didn't speak out. I didn't stop him. No need to tell what happened next. After that day, I would go upstairs every morning until his wife's return 2 months later. Even today I visit him whenever I get a chance. But the feeling of regret haunts me. When my brother-in-law invites me to his bedroom, I can't resist. At the same time, I'm not at peace at all and I don't know how to get out of this situation. Every time I sleep with my brother-in-law, I repent. But I can't stop seeing me. This situation exhausts me. I'm stressful and don't know what to do.